Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Homecoming Wave Vulture Wing Wave. This is Cosmic Spider-Man. Looking first at the wing that comes included with Cosmic Spider-Man, it's the exact same. Yes, it is. Well, that's not 100% true. It's the mirror flip of the other wing that we already had to look at. Remember this wing right here? This is the same thing, just the other way around. So let's go ahead and grab the wing that we haven't done anything with. Once again, utilizing the little tab, a little hole. We're going to attach the two. Despite the fact that it's also only attaching to the top portion, I do feel like it's a pretty secure fit. Maybe this, over the course of time, this little wing is going to get a little loose just on the hinge that it sits on, but this part here seems to actually be pretty stiff, and I do like that. I also like the fact that you can kind of fold the wing in, not too much because then it looks ridiculous, but you can also fold the wing inward as well. More on that when we have a look at Vulture. Having a look at Cosmic Spider-Man, what a nice looking figure. In all honesty, this is the kind of body sculpt I think should basically become the norm for most, if not all, Marvel Legends. It was one that I think we got before with the Spider-Man, the Britain Spider-Man figure that we got before. But I like the contrast and the proportions of his legs, a nice long series of legs, and the torso. This is the kind of body that should have been utilized for Tombstone. Reaching off to the camera, I really wasn't expecting on doing this, but reaching off camera, there is Tombstone right there. If only, get his legs to actually straighten up. If only, now he is taller. I mean, again, 6'7" or so, whatever Tombstone was supposed to be in the comics, reads that in figure form. He's tall, but his legs are so stocky, I don't care for them, that somehow if they could mash the two together. I like the proportions on Cosmic Spider-Man. I don't like the stockiness, though, of Tombstone. That's just my own personal preference. Move him off camera. Cosmic Spider-Man comes with a couple of different head sculpts, one of which being not necessarily, I can't say necessarily Captain Universe, because it's not like one person basically was a Captain Universe. Basically, the unipower was bestowed upon many individuals, but it is a human version, Captain Universe in that regard. We can go ahead, we'll go back to Spider-Man, don't worry, we're not abandoning that by any stretch of the imagination. But let's start with a more defaulted head sculpt, which I guess you really couldn't have incorporated as the go-to head sculpt for packaging this guy, because a lot of people would gravitate a little bit more towards a Spider-Man head than I think something like this. The head sculpt's pretty good, though. Not one I think many people will end up displaying him with. I think most people will probably display him with either the Spider-Man, Cosmic Spider-Man, or he's got also a really decent-looking unmasked head sculpt as well. But there is his, kind of just go through this quickly. He has some really nice silvering to his eyes, which I think looks actually pretty good. It's not the cleanest right around the nose bridge area. It gets a little sloppy around the bottom area where his hood mask kind of peels over, so to speak. We'll get to the rest of his body in a second. Let's change out his head back to Spider-Man's head. So this is when Spider-Man was, again, given the unipower. And the Spider-Man head is pretty good. Again, nice paint on the head sculpt. I like the little stars that or constellations and stuff like that, they've splattered all over the body. I have to say, though, it does have some semblance that it looks like, not that one person would be doing this the whole time, but like flicking a paintbrush. If you've ever done that onto your artwork, that looks like what they've done here with Spider-Man. So some areas don't look quite much like stars, instead look like little slashes or just like little dribbles of paint. Some of them look a little bit more like stars. I mean, we can't ask the universe so to speak. But we can't ask the universe to have a perfect series of stars and stuff already on Spider-Man's body. But there are some areas that just don't look like stars, and again, just look like somebody's splattered some paint all over this guy. The rest of his body is nice and clean. No real definitive line right here where the blue aspect, which I might also added some beautiful blue coloring. Love that blue that they've used here. But there's not a real solid line. This is one thing that I think they really need to work on. There's not one solid line where this part of the deco stops, and then you have the paint below it. I wish that there's just like this very dark, not a dark line of a different color, but a dark line of the same color. So clear as day, there is that cut between the top portion of the decoration of the paint and then the lower portion. It just kind of looks like it's a very gradual, soft line here. But again, I love this body sculpt. It's one of my favorite Marvel Legends bodies that has been released before. If they could just make use of this body more often, I would be very, very happy. The webbing on Spider-Man's, the only real aspect of Spider-Man that is red here, I would say, is right around the mouth, nose area, which the webbing there is nice and clean. It would have to be, because that's the only area that, again, looks like Spider-Man. Then as the third swap out option, you get yourself an unmasked Spider-Man. And the ball joint is not the most forgiving, I have to say, when swapping out the head. There we go. Some customizer, I'm sure, could make use of this and give us a real awesome looking Tony Stark as well. The eyes are done nicely. You can see a little bit of the reflection of light in there as well. The sculpting of the beard is decent. The hair is also really nicely done. All in all, not a bad looking figure, not a bad looking head sculpt at all. Kind of looks like me a little bit. But again, of the three, I probably would display him with this one, just as it being Cosmic Spider-Man. The funny aspect of all of this is, let me just get his head back on here, is that of all the things he comes with, he does not come with any interchangeable hands, nor does he come with any sort of energy constructs. If this character has the unipower and is granted so many of the cosmic abilities, he has none. None when it comes to the figure itself. I think this was an opportunity where they could have given us the spread hands, and certainly, at the very least, they could have made use of the exact same constructs that we've seen with figures such as Dazzler, such as what we've seen with Doctor Strange figures, and so on and so forth. The Scarlet Witch as well, those energy constructs with the little spirals and the little ball orbs around it would fit perfectly with Cosmic Spider-Man. And yet, for some strange reason, the one time that I would ask the figure to come with it, it does not come with those energy constructs. So I don't know why Hasbro would have left those off necessarily in favor of, yes, granted, we do get a couple of interchangeable heads for our own enjoyment, but I feel like he could have come with those little energy spirals as well that we could have attached to the wrist. I mean, we have enough of them through all the figures that we've gotten in the Marvel Legends waves that we could easily have swapped these out and put them on Cosmic Spider-Man. But again, you would think of one figure to come with them, he does not come with them, which is very, very strange to me. When it comes to his posability, let's run through that together. His head is not only on a ball joint, but he's also got that hinge up and down on the neck. He has also an upper torso crunch with a waist swivel to boot. The arms can spread out, as well as a full rotation all the way around, a swivel in your bicep, a double hinge on your elbow, a rotation in the wrist, hinge back and forth. Then you get your very generous articulation in the legs. They move out. They have swivel top cut in the thigh. Double hinge on your knee, a swivel right at the mid-calf or top calf area of the leg. And a very generous ankle pivot, as well as a hinge back and forth. There you have a Cosmic Spider-Man in hand. Not, again, a bad-looking figure at all. Only the smallest of nitpicks I could probably make about the figure is just like the little dabbles and little sprinkles of paint, drop the figure, little sprinkles of paint here and there, kind of read a little bit more like somebody's just gone like this with a paintbrush. Overlooking that, a nice clean figure, really happy with how he turned out. Today we're checking out the Hasbro Marvel Legends. This was the Spider-Man Homecoming Wave. This was also the Vulture Wing Wave. I feel so silly saying that. I feel like I'm talking about chicken wings. The Wing Wave, guys. We're looking today at Cosmic Spider-Man. Stay tuned, guys. There is one more video. Mark that on your agenda book. There's one more video that would be Vulture. And through the course of doing that as well, we're going to have a look at his completed wings. We'll kind of just snap everything on him, and we'll do the one review with Vulture, and then we'll just kind of talk about the figures in this wave after the fact. Sounds good? Sounds good. If you haven't had a chance also to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button. It's down below. You can click that and you'll never miss a beat when it comes to future figure reviews and other videos on this channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.